on the stage. Let's look at the cover of this book. It looks very dry. I can see a cactus. Look at what the kids are wearing. It looks like they are in the Wild West. Let's look at the blurb. A show about the Wild West leads to an adventure on a stagecoach. Now, a stagecoach was a carriage pulled by horses that was used in the past. Let's look at the words in the green boxes. These are words you will see in the story. I'm, by, time, about, your, here, saw, told, cowboy, sheriff, railroad, mirror, people, looked, rains, cold, trouble, through, distance, telescope, everyone. Reins are items that's part of a horse's track. You use them to direct the horse. A telescope is an instrument that allows people to see distant objects. Often they use it to look at stars. Wilma, Wolf, and Biff were in a show about the Wild West. They wore jeans and cowboy boots. Wilma's skirt had a fringe along the edge. They had to sing a song about a stagecoach coming into town. It was hard to get it right, and they had to stay late to practice. Mom had lent Biff her mobile phone. Biff rang her when it was time to go. Mom is going to pick us all up, she told Wolf and Wilma. Wolf and Wilma went home with Biff. Come and play in my room until your dad comes to pick you up, said Biff. Biff still had Mom's mobile phone. I wish I had a mobile, said Wilma. Then the magic key began to glow. The magic key took them to the Wild West. The desert, said Wilma. What an amazing place in the world to be. A stagecoach was racing along the desert trail. It was pulled by 4 horses. Dust flew up round the horses' hooves. The stagecoach pulled up when it saw the children. Slow down! Take care! The driver shouted at the horses. The driver looked at the children with astonishment. What are you kids doing out here in the desert? He gasped. We are lost, said Wolf. I'll take you to the next town, said the driver, and hand you to the sheriff. The children sat on a seat on top of the stagecoach. No seat belts? Shouted Biff. Take care! Hang on! The edge of the trail was bumpy and cracked. The stagecoach began to rock. The wheels ran into a deep crack in the ground. The horses bucked. The driver pulled to the reins. Then the wheels sank deeper into the crack, and the stagecoach stopped with a jerk. It won't budge, said the driver. The town is still a long way off. We can't get help until tomorrow. Biff saw smoke in the distance. It must be from the new railroad, said a man. They are even laying railway tracks across the desert. Use the mobile phone, said Wolf. That's no good, said Biff. Mobile phones aren't invented here yet. No, use it like a mirror, said Wolf. The screen will flash and reflect the sun. Wolf went on. Good thinking, said Biff. People in the distance might see it flashing. Over on the new railroad, the boss was looking through a telescope. Someone's in trouble, he said. It looks like the stagecoach. A gang of men rode across from the railroad. They looked at the stagecoach and said they would go and get levers and ropes. Flashing that bright mirror was clever, said the boss. It took a long time, but in the end, the men lifted the stagecoach out. The stagecoach set off again. Well, we won't need a stagecoach when the railroad is finished, said the boss. In town, the driver called, Now I'm going to take you to the sheriff. But the magic key had already glowed, and the children had gone. The children went back to Biff's room. What an adventure, said Wolf. Now we know what a real stagecoach was like. In the show, everyone loved the song about the stagecoach. They've never sung it better, said Mom. I want you to now go and look at all the pictures of the story again and then answer these questions. How did the stagecoach get stuck? If you can't remember, go look on page 12 and 13 again. Look at the pictures on page 16 and 17. How did Biff use the mobile phone to get help if she couldn't phone on it? I want you to tell me, why did they decide to change from a stagecoach to a railroad? Go and draw up a T-graph and compare the stagecoach to the railroad. Will it be more comfortable? Will it be quicker? Will it be safer? Go show me in your T-graph. I also want you to go switch off the sound and then to read the story at least twice to yourself.